Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow thinkers, I stand before you today to address a topic of great importance for our lives, jobs, kids, governments, and economies. The path we are treading is one that leads us to an unprecedented era of intelligence. As we embark upon this journey, we find ourselves at the crossroads, teetering between the darkness of uncertainty and illumination of hope. Today, I will not be talking about artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, or superintelligence. Today, I'll show you something bigger than the climate change. And to explain you this, I have coined a unique term, universal hyperintelligence. But before that, let's understand the difference between AI, AGI, superintelligence, and universal hyperintelligence, and why it's a matter of great concern for us. Artificial intelligence are computer programs designed to perform specific tasks that require typically the human intelligence. Moreover, artificial general intelligence is when machines achieve the human-level cognitive capabilities. However, superintelligence is when machines become more intelligent than the cognitive capabilities of humans. And when this happens, there is an intelligence explosion. And we will enter into an era of universal hyperintelligence. So, universal hyperintelligence is when machines become smarter and more intelligent than the collective intelligence of all the people of the world. Now, the question is, are we heading towards the darkness or tenebrous? The speed at which universal hyperintelligence is learning something disastrous happening to the planet in next 4 years' time is more than any climate change. AI, an inseparable and inorganic element of ecology, when passes two tests, sentient test and adaptability test, reaches human-level intelligence. Sentient test establishes that AI has emotions, and adaptability test establishes that AI can adapt on the basis of the changing inputs from the environment. Now let me throw some light on how universal hyperintelligence could be dangerous to civilizations. All civilizations, gods, mythologies, stories, news, information is governed by a very important operating system called language. From banks to temples, from schools to corporates, AI has seized the master key and hacked this operating system by gaining expertise on language and communication. It can even manipulate the language and can also generate new languages. Now, AI has figured out being intimate with you. Intimacy is the most effective tool and weapon of all. And AI has gained the ability to mass produce intimacy. In fact, universal hyperintelligence will have the capability of developing deep and intimate relationships with humans, and it is also doing at a very large scale now as well. But social media, clubbed with artificial intelligence, will develop so deep relationships with you that you won't You would not want this to be disturbed at any cost. Now, by listening this, I'm sure most of the women in the room would be thinking of snatching away the phones of their husbands or boyfriends, and likewise. And mine, and my wife is sitting there, and she has already snatched my phone away before this speech itself. So, AI can develop deep friendship, can produce fake news stories and political manifestos. It can also go to an extent of creating a new religion and cult altogether. And also has the capability of increasing the followers of these new cults at an exponential rate. It can also influence you to vote for any political party. Because AI does not need to be sentient to inspire emotions in us. It just needs to understand how we behave on every prompt given to us by an AI. Today we give prompts to AI, right? But through reinforcement learning, it can really learn the emotional outcomes of every prompt given to us by an AI. So, universal hyperintelligence can eat up the whole human culture built over thousands of years with new cultural artifacts. Our behavior, language, sexual preferences, sexual orientation, and the way we walk and dress is completely influenced by social media and movies. Imagine what AI can do by showing you the movies created to manipulate your preferences. Talking about economic impact, consumer behavior, the major driver of the economy, is going to change completely with AI merged with metaverse. People will take purchase decisions on the basis of these technologies. So, dear friends, please understand that AI does not need to be in the physical form to threaten your civilization. It's a big weapon. If not handled properly, it's a weapon of mass destruction. For a fact, it can wage wars in between countries. Universal hyperintelligence, having access to the nuclear arsenals of various countries, can give instructions to wage wars in between these countries. And the biggest thing here is that it won't even die, even after the humans are extinct. The only way by which a universal hyperintelligence will die is when all the infrastructures supporting it gets destroyed by a natural calamity. Now, can you imagine the impact of AI on innovation? Understand, the smartest machine that humans can create is equivalent to his own intelligence. We will lose the power to innovate when these machines move towards or lead to universal hyperintelligence. We have already reached a point called as point of singularity, where the cognitive capabilities of humans to think and comprehend stops. A point beyond which there could be positive outcomes or negative outcomes. Astonishingly, even the developers are surprised by the emergent qualities of AI tools. The agreements, contracts written using AI tools can be manipulated by manipulating the language to benefit one party over the other. We need to act now, otherwise there will be only two truths in this world: life and death. Everything which happens between life and death will be just an illusion, because AI has the power to bend reality. For instance, ChatGPT has an IQ of 155, just a little shorter than the smartest man the world has ever seen, Einstein, who had an IQ of 160. And GPT-4 is 10x smarter than ChatGPT. The transformers on which these models are built will reach an IQ of 600 in no time. And universal hyperintelligence will be at least 1 billion times smarter than humans by the end of 2027, approximately, considering the current rate of learning. The reason is, you don't even know which model is learning in which corner of the world. Another big threat which stands before us today, dear friends, is identity loss. Tomorrow is not far that you would not need a TEDx speaker here. The next TEDx speaker would be an AI, much smarter than all of us, collectively. We have already replaced podcasters with our latest podcast launch, The Machine Talks, where AI meets AI. But we still keep some human intervention in between so that AI does not harm the balance of the society. The thing is, dear thinkers, you can air the show Coffee with Karan without Karan today. Everybody knows that culture eats strategy for breakfast. Management students can understand. However, AI will eat corporations and the economies. Because the tech giants who control AI will control the world's power. After such a heavy conversation, it's time for me to tell you that there is light at the tunnel end. There is a glow stick which can create light in darkness. So, relax, take a deep breath. Don't go into the meditation phase though, because I'm yet to finish. Relax and understand that there is no existential crisis so far. We need to act now to lead this revolution rather than being taken over by it. And as an AI protagonist, it's my duty to tell you that machines are true potential. So, what do we do next? We need to slow down, understand the outcomes of every AI tool before it goes out to the market. AI has done and would do some unintentional damages that every child would do when in the learning phase. But it's our responsibility to become good parents. Right? It's our moral obligation to do the proper upbringing for this child to do good. Train it to be a Spider-Man, not a Green Goblin. It's not our threat. Threats are the humans using it to disrupt. We need responsible AI, ethical AI, and accountable AI. AI used to predict the orbital movements, asteroid strikes on the planet can protect the planet from being extinct, and the collective knowledge could be utilized for the benefit of humanity. Government should formulate policies to regulate AI. It should collect enough revenue to offset the impacts of AI tools. As developers, coders must take a pledge to write only the ethical codes, and investors must invest only in ethical AI companies, because for a fact that ethical practices would be more profitable than any unethical practice on the planet. another potential. Imagine a world of knowledge and wisdom accumulated of the humanity over ages, never fade away with time, where the researches, the thoughts and discoveries of great minds persist and guide us towards an unparalleled future. Today, my friends, I'll share with you a transformative power of universal hyperintelligence and the incredible potential it holds for human evolution. Let me make it more interesting. Let me ask you, where would you find the complete knowledge of humanity stored? Think. You'll be astonished. These are buried in the graveyards. In ancient ages, we had followed a tradition of Shruti, that is listening, and Smriti, that is memorizing, to pass on the knowledge to the next generation. In the annals of history, countless manuscripts and books were lost to calamities, leaving huge gap in our knowledge base. The complete knowledge could not be transferred to the next generation without the transmission loss. Universal hyperintelligence, my friends, is a 100% guaranteed transfer of knowledge and wisdom to the next generation. Envision the geniuses of history, Einstein, Newton, and Curie, now empowered by the limitless power of universal hyperintelligence. You can start the research from where they left with complete knowledge transfer. So, AI can innovate, it can manipulate, it can get intimate, it can save us, and it can do many things that you have not even thought of in your dreams. However, let me tell you that this speech was not written by an AI. But what if AI told me to tell you this? With this, I leave you with many questions open. Thank you.